Hi guys, welcome to April's Dispatches. What you see before you here today is a small selection of what we're releasing in this month. And finally, at long last, right at the back here, is our all-metal Tiger tank. Now, we've done several videos on the Tiger tank itself, and as I say, it's been a long, slow process, not helped at all by the pandemic. We've been working on the project for over 18 months, but finally it has come to fruition. We just did some quality control up at the factory last week, and the first deliveries will be coming into Hong Kong next week, and from Hong Kong they'll be going all around the world as quickly as we can. So throughout the month of April, we hope that these deliveries will go out. All 500 have actually been sold, which is amazing and great news, and it shows that a lot of people have been waiting for this, as we have ourselves, for a long time. And as I say, I hope it will be the first of many projects. We actually have several other projects for other vehicles done in the same way with our friends at this factory, and we'll keep you posted as we move along. So as you see, here's our Tiger tank. In front of the Tiger tank are 6 brand new Hitlerjugend figures, 12th SS in Normandy, and you'll see there's a 3-figure set here, a little Panzerfaust team. The Panzerfaust was an anti-tank rocket, a disposable anti-tank rocket that could be used once and then thrown away. Developed in the mid 1942, really came into service in 1943, all the way up to the end of the war. Very successful, very dangerous for Allied tank crews. The 3-man set here, we've got a kneeling guy with the Panzerfaust being aimed, ready to fire off. Behind him is the number 2. He's holding another Panzerfaust, and he's signaling to the guy at the back to hold on, let's see where the first shot lands. Behind him are a little patrolling set of 2 Waffen SS figures, rifles over the shoulder, so we must assume that they're probably behind the lines somewhere. They're not necessarily up in the front line, but they're just going about patrol duties. Behind them is a single figure, and again, very adaptable, can be used either in the battlefront scene or behind the lines also. Now let's move on to something completely different. In front of our Tiger tank and our Waffen SS figures is something very, very different. And you'll see these 3 little colourful ladies here. These figures are actually based on photographs that we researched of Her Late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And this came about from the popularity of the Queen figures that we produced over the last couple of years, especially the younger Queen when she still attended Trooping the Colour on horseback and in uniform. But of course, many of us have memories of the Queen in her latter years, when she would be in civilian dress, opening a hospital or visiting a school or performing any of her hundreds of duties that she did every year. And she'd be wearing a matching coat and hat in some of her favourite colours, and she very definitely had her favourite colours. So in this case, we decided to do the Queen in royal purple, in emerald green, tangerine orange. But not just that, we thought, we've seen photographs of Her Majesty with her favourite dogs. Her favourite dogs were little Welsh Pembroke corgis. And over the years, she had dozens of these little dogs. In fact, the very first corgi dog that she was given as a gift from her parents was way back in 1933, and she just fell in love with these little animals, and she loved them so much that they reckon that she had more than 30 different corgis over the years. So we thought, let's have a little figure of the Queen, and each figure of the Queen will come with 3 of her favourite dogs. So that's what we have. So you've got a choice of any of the 3 colour schemes, and each set will come with the 3 little dogs, and it comes in a very special box that we've designed to go with the figures themselves. Nice and British. It's got the Queen's Royal Cipher on the side, E2R, which stands for Elizabeth Regina, Regina being Latin for Queen, and the numerals 2 as for Queen Elizabeth II. Now, next to the Queen, you have her eldest son and heir, who was Prince Charles, who's now King Charles III. We're looking forward to the celebration of the King, which I believe happens on the 6th of May, and we decided to do a figure of him in his formal naval uniform, and in this case he's dressed as an Admiral of the Fleet, which is the most senior rank in the Royal Navy. When he was Prince Charles, he actually served in the Royal Navy for several years, and of course the monarch in Britain is known particularly to the armed services, and they hold many honorary ranks in the 3 different armed services. But Prince Charles, as I say, served for almost 4 years in the Royal Navy, so that has a special place for him, and that's why we've put him in naval uniform. And I hope that he'll probably wear naval uniform as part of his coronation ceremony. So we have a little individual figure of Prince Charles, and he himself also comes in a special box with his name, King Charles III, on the front of the box in gold stamping, and on the side, earlier we showed you the Queen's Royal Cipher. This is a Royal Cipher for King Charles. So you can see the initial C, the initial R, which stands for Charles Rex, Latin again for King, and the numerals, the Roman numerals 3. So that comes with that. Now we go from one royal family to another royal dynasty, and this time we're moving to ancient Egypt. What you see in front of you here is the latest 2 additions to our Ancient Egypt series. In this case, when we launched the series way back in around 2011, 2012, among the most popular figures were our sedan chair sets. So over the years we've had lots of requests from collectors who were never able to get hold of the original sets. Could we produce something new? So we decided to do exactly that and really make some adaptations and we hope some improvements. So first of all, we designed 2 separate figures, one of a seated pharaoh and one of a seated Queen Cleopatra. The other major difference we made was we changed the bearers that are carrying the sedan chair from Egyptian. We sculpted all new figures, and after doing a bit of research, we decided to make them Nubians. Now, Nubians were black Africans who were very highly prized in ancient Egypt for their strength, their endurance, their loyalty. And although they were slaves, they were actually treated for that period very well by their Egyptian masters. They received extra food, they received better living conditions, and at some point some of them could even achieve their freedom after a number of years of service. So the set itself, each set comes obviously with the sedan chair and the 4 Nubian sedan bearers. Behind the sedan bearers are these other figures, and these are the fan bearers. Now these were the guys that would be following the monarch and gently wafting and keeping some cool air blowing over the ruler themselves. Again, we thought, well, let's match them up and let's do a brand new figure, and this time we'll make him a Nubian as well, which is what we've done. So there you have it. There are the initial releases for this month. There's a lot more in the pipeline, but before I go, I'd just like to draw your attention to this little magazine that you may have noticed in front of me. This is Toy Soldier Collector, which I believe genuinely is a great magazine. If you're interested in toy soldiers, I can't recommend this magazine highly enough. A very good friend of King & Country's and myself is Stuart Hesney, who is the editor of the magazine, and Stuart came to me when he learned that this year was going to be our anniversary year, our 40th anniversary, and said, look, I'd like to do an in-depth interview with yourself and King and Country about the last 40 years and part of the King and Country story. So we sat down with Stuart long distance, and literally he came up with a whole raft of really good questions, and we did our best to try to give really good answers to the questions. I think you'll find, if you get a chance to read the magazine, you'll find some really interesting facts about King and Country and about how King and Country came about and where we are these days. But as I say, it's not just about King and Country, it's a really good read. I always go through this magazine from cover to cover, not just to see what our opposition are doing, but to hear what people are talking about. And as I say, it was quite interesting that Stuart chose to put this ancient Egypt display with some of our Napoleon in Egypt figures in the centre spread. So don't want to do any more advertising for anyone except King and Country. However, we do like to do one for Toy Soldier Collector. So congratulations and thank you to Stuart, Toy Soldier Collector, and the publishers, Guideline Publications. They do a great job, and they also promote the London show. So that's the story so far for this month. We hope there's a little something for you. There's a lot more exciting things in the pipeline, but I'll leave that till next month. In the meantime, all the best and happy collecting.